Hey guys, it's Joe Carroll here on behalf of mixcoach.com, and I'm here today to talk about one of the most common questions we have, and that is achieving a great balance between a lead vocal and the music bed. I've got 4 tips that I hope help you achieve what you're looking for. Number 1, using reference CDs. It seems obvious, but comparing your own work to another great engineer that you know and trust is a great thing to help you know how your work is stacking up. Within that, be sure you're listening to work that's in the genre that you're working in. You may have a reference CD that's a banging, highly compressed rock track that you think sounds sonically amazing. But if you're working on a jazz track that needs to be very dynamic, what you're listening to is not going to help you achieve what you need. So find something that's great in the genre that you're working in and use that as your reference. A little B note to that would be to listen in on the headphones or the speakers in your control room that you're actually going to be working on. Where the environment that you're going to be performing the mix needs to be where you're listening to your reference. All right, number 2, and there's 2 schools of thought here, but because I personally believe that the lead vocal is the key ingredient, the most important element, I actually start mixing music first. Once I've listened to the raw tracks and I know basically in my mind where I want to go, I'm visualizing the finished product, I will actually mute all vocals and work on the music first. Digging out all those little key ingredient, like maybe melodic ideas that a guitar is playing, a piano, a synth, whatever the case may be. And this is a biggie, building dynamics from section to section. If a chorus needs to really pop, a bridge, verses need to come down, breakdown sections, I want to get all that stuff feeling good and where it belongs before I add the vocal back in. That way, when I do bring the vocals in, I know exactly where it needs to be at all times to maintain a great relationship to the music bed. Okay, number 3 is using automation. Typically, compression alone is not going to get you where you want to be. So go in there with your fader or your pencil tool, your breakpoint automation, dig in from section to section, phrase to phrase, and even syllable to syllable to make sure you're getting the consistency you're looking for. Typically, when I'm done with a mix, virtually regardless of how much compression I'm using or is even called for in that genre, if you zoom in on my vocal track and view automation, you're finding that the vocal automation is full of peaks and valleys and actually almost looks like a city skyline. That's how I achieve what me and my clients are looking for. Last but not least, number 4 is the low volume test, and this is a good one. Basically, when you got everything where you think it needs to be, sounding great, those key ingredients need to pop out, like a lead vocal, a snare drum, a kick drum, things like that. When you turn your control room volume down to a virtually muted position, those should be the very last elements that disappear. And up until the point of muting, you should be able to understand every word of the lead vocal clearly. Those elements need to be the last things to disappear. So anyway, I hope that helps. Take care.